We're getting wasted, and we're talking about Christopher Nolan.
Let's talk about Interstellar first, since this is his latest movie.
Okay.
What did you think about it?
I thought the movie was really dry. I thought his influences, he just like put them all right out there for everybody to see. Yeah, like 2001, fucking everything is just like right there for everybody to see. And that ending, I wanted to just vomit on the screen.
Okay, we'll get back to that. What did you think, Michelle?
He's very good at the spectacle. He's good at the amazing, the interesting. But when there's two people on screen just talking to each other, it just comes off very cheesy and hammy. And I don't know why he doesn't really get better with that. His older films are better with character interaction, but his newer stuff tends to kind of leave that by the wayside. I don't like how it was hard sci-fi in the beginning, and then the middle it gets schmaltzy, and then the end it gets soft sci-fi, which I wasn't a fan of. I'm like, just kind of stick with a genre, kind of.
Agreed.
And then the ending, part of the ending I liked up to a point, and then the last 10 minutes I felt like he needed to appease simpler audience members and kind of tie it up more neat than it needed to be.
We'll rage about the ending.
Yes.
Okay.
Andrew, how do you feel about Interstellar?
It's bringing 70mm back. I'm happy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought it was the first movie he made in a long time that actually had blood pumping through its veins. There was a real heart in it, and it, contrary to what you were saying, I actually thought the human drama between him and McConaughey and his daughter, when the last scene where he's saying, or don't make me leave like this, I thought that was really powerful.
Something about Interstellar, I don't know why, the whole thing felt dry to me. It felt overlong. And to go back to that ending, you can't have it both ways. Mm-hmm. You can't have happy ending. Sorry. Somebody has to die.
Mm-hmm.
Like 15 minutes into the movie, I'm watching it, she said something about the ghost. I figured that out right away. I was like, yep, okay, we're doing this. And then we get to the ending, and the whole thing happens, and I'm watching it, and remember when you watched Contact?
Oh, yeah.
Jodie Foster, and you're like, oh, there's going to be this big, awesome ending, and it's going to be sweet.
Yeah.
And then she gets there, and you get this tripped out ending where she's on the space beach with her dad or whatnot.
Yeah.
Well, those are all doing the,
right, wasn't it?
Those are all doing the white bedroom in 2001, including the Spaceballs plaid void at the end of Interstellar.
But you know what? All these people aren't Kubrick.
Which I liked.
So.
I thought that was an astonishing effect.
What I'm especially disappointed in is Christopher Nolan had an opportunity to really bring something special to the sci-fi genre. The film is built up to have this awesome sense of wonder of exploring the universe and the mysteries of outer space, and then they shit on all of it by the end of the movie. They just throw all of it out, and they're just like, okay, it's really
come on.
I'm not going to go that far.
I'm sitting through this whole movie going, oh, this is pretty cool, and then the ending comes, and I'm like,
they try to. It's like they try to appease two separate types of audiences.
Why can't you end a movie? Why can't you end a movie?
There's a science ending to that movie.
Blow up the Death Star.
But basically, you see him going after her at the end, almost suggesting there could be another Interstellar movie. Not that people would go
Please,
to see it.
God, no.
But
Interstellar 2, Electric Boogaloo.
I really do appreciate Nolan, because Nolan is very popular with a younger audience now. I mean, when we went to see it, the theater
crowd
was full
mostly young viewers.
Exceptionally young audience members.
That's great.
And I think it's awesome that he's introducing that kind of an audience to 70mm and to these kind of sci-fi films, and hopefully that will inspire some other filmmaker in the future to make something that might be better.
I think his heart is in the right place.
Yeah.
Let's go back to Inception. So Inception is one of those that was exceedingly cold. Really, I couldn't get invested in the characters. I didn't care about anybody because of this reason. I guess it's an unfortunate necessity of the way the film is written or the way it's created, is that it always has to explain itself to the audience.
Yeah.
So the characters aren't characters anymore.
And now we're doing because
they're just teachers. They're just showing the audience. They're just telling the audience what's going on, and they're not really characters anymore.
Yeah.
So he probably wrote Inception to be more subtle. And then when he took it to the execs and the focus groups, they were like, this is confusing for people. So he probably had to write a bunch of exposition in there. which
Make
you know,
it easier
and
for
I
the
agree
dumb
with you.
public to
There
understand.
is a lot of exposition, and there's whole periods of that movie where literally somebody's sitting down and like explaining what's happening. Yes, it's over explanatory. Yes, it is, but I feel like there's a lot of interesting and creative ideas in Inception.
Well, no doubt about
Lifted
it.
from Paprika.
Well, yeah, but everything's lifted from something. Obviously, there's only like 4 or 5 story archetypes that exist, and everybody's just making a riff off of them.
I think Nolan's tool set is more of a technical thing, really, than something with a lot of soul to it.
Mm-hmm.
He's big on ideas. Like he has, like Inception is a really big idea, no question about it. It's huge, but it kind of stops there.
Mm-hmm.
Like after that, it's just okay. I just want this big idea.
You are so going to get hated for saying that.
It's just people that don't watch movies a lot watch Inception because they're like, oh, that's the guy that made The Dark Knight. I can see his new thing, and they were like, wow, my mind's being blown. Inception. When I first watched Inception, I was like, oh, okay. That was cool. But I wasn't like, oh my god, it was like Jesus came down and fucking farted a movie in my face or something like that. But, you know, well, people are just acting like Inception was like, Jesus Christ, I've never fucking seen anything like this. Like, dude, that's been done like a million times.
Yeah, it has been.
I really, you know, like, I really hate that, but then I have to appreciate what Nolan's doing. I really am not a fan of Christopher Nolan, but I do appreciate that he's at least sparking some kind of interest for different things.
He's either really good or he's Dark Knight Rises. But I honestly think he phoned that movie in. I think he phoned Dark Knight Rises in, honestly. I think, like, he didn't want to make another one, but they were like, dude, we need 3 movies, it's trilogies, that's what you got to do.
Well,
so he just fucking made it, but...
Very obviously studio imposed, you know, his heart wasn't in it, and,
well, the whole
extra
game
characters
plan
that came
changed.
in.
A lot of people don't realize that, is that, you know, he had a plan for the trilogy, and when Heath Ledger died, the whole thing changed, and then he's going like, oh shit, we have to have this movie out in 2 years, what are we going to do?
To be honest with you, it's just the screenplay of Dark Knight Rises that's so bad.
It's flat.
There's potholes in it, too.
There's so many... You can tell that screenplay was rushed to get something made. I really think Prestige is, like, unquestionably his best.
Top notch.
Yeah,
well, Prestige,
I think we can all agree on that.
Prestige is him... I don't know if, like, maybe he just had less interference or something, but it's tight. The whole movie's tight. There's not exposition.
It's bizarre
like that.
how different that film is from the
Well,
rest
you
of his
get
films.
also a matter of you're a little more youthful. You have a little more of that energy that you're going to put into it, and you're a little more like I'm becoming this director now that people look up to, and I'm given this bigger budget, and I have these awesome actors to work with, and you turn out this awesome product. But then over time, it all just becomes, like you said, serviceable because, oh, I worked with those guys before. I'll make another movie.
Although, to be fair, I thought he really moved away from that with Interstellar, and for all the flaws in the script and the slippery slopes that it slides on, I think that it has real emotion in it, where his other films are very cold and distant. Well, there's a scene in Interstellar, there's a couple scenes in Interstellar that are actually, I thought, were really original with their use of sound, when his colleague is starting to get a little bit of, you know, space vertigo. You know, we're gonna die. There's nothing out here, and he gives him the headset, and it's the sound of a rainforest, and it cuts to a shot of
I like that
the centrifuge against
something to ground him to the earth.
Yeah, and then there's the scene. What was the other scene that I was going to mention? Oh, when they first dock, and it's totally silent. Again, a nod to 2001. And they open the hatch, and in most science fiction films, the hatch is this loud sound, and this just sounds like a garage door being opened by hand, almost. You know, I thought that was a unique, realistic touch to the genre.
Right.
Another part I did like was when he first leaves his daughter to go on to the shuttle, and they superimpose the sound of the shuttle launching with him driving to it.
Yeah.
Like, usually they, like, make a big scene, like, oh, they use stock footage of the shit taken off. But I thought it was really cool that they started it when he was driving away. And it kind of, because it's a very loud sound, but
it's a very emotional scene, too. I thought it reached emotional heights his other films didn't. Is he that bad? Chris Nolan? No, I don't think he is.
I feel like he could be better. I feel like he has the potential to be better.
He's not. I agree. He's not that bad. He's made some amazing films. Prestige is one of them. And Memento is, of course.
Oh, all right.
God bless him for bringing 70mm back.
Yes.
Yeah, I feel like that needs to be the new trend.
He needs to make more Inceptions. Like, keep getting better at making that. like, even though I'm not a big fan of Inception, I love the idea there. I love where he's
concept.
going with stuff like that.
Yeah.
Because that film's hardly derivative, whereas Interstellar is very derivative.
Totally.
I really would like to see more Inception from Christopher Nolan. More of that. Give us more brilliant ideas
More
like
Inception,
that.
less Dark Knight Rises.
Bring the heart from Interstellar and put it in
Yeah.
Inception.